Hey there, I'm Kat, and this is Brews and Reviews. In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about the Kindle Unlimited books that I have loved. Now, there are quite a few Kindle Unlimited books that I've really enjoyed, but I kind of just wanted to shout out a few because why not? But before we get into this, I feel like I should make it obvious that I apparently read a certain genre of books on Kindle Unlimited almost exclusively. There is one book on this list that is not of the same variety as the others, and I will talk about that one first because it's such an outlier, and then the rest are like, okay. And that's because I find that Kindle Unlimited is really good for romance. And I mean like indie romance, dark romance, monster romance, mafia romance, any type of romance that I really enjoy, I can find it on Kindle Unlimited. And I find that I'm more willing to take a chance on a new author on Kindle Unlimited because, you know, obviously I'm not making the commitment to buy something. So I don't know, I try out a lot of things. So a lot of the things on this list, all of the things on this list except for one, are romance books, and you know what, I'm not sad about it. I think that Kindle Unlimited is really great for romance. So I'm going to be talking about the books that I loved. So the first book I'm going to talk about is The Tea Dragon Society by Kay O'Neill. This is a graphic novel about a very cozy fantasy world in which these creatures called tea dragons exist, and we follow a society of people who like nurture and care for these tea dragons, and we get to see like the development of friendships and the trust. And there's some really cool elements about how if a tea dragon like drops leaves from its body and then tea is made from those tea leaves, the person who drinks it gets to see some of the memories that the tea dragon had when they were, you know, growing the leaves. And I just think it's so adorable. I absolutely love it, and I'm definitely glad that this was on Kindle Unlimited so that I could just read this whole series, and I just really enjoyed it. Now let's move on to the romancy side of things. If you're not about that, I apologize now. So the first book I want to talk about is Priceless by Miranda Silva. Yeah, I read it on Kindle Unlimited and then I bought it because I enjoyed it so much. I really am due a reread of this one because I just thought it was really it was good. It was good. In this one we follow a broke college student who is looking for a way to make some money, and then she meets up with this guy and they come to sort of an arrangement, a sexy arrangement, and it's just a really interesting one, and I just feel like it was really well done, and it had some elements I hadn't seen within other romance books. I don't know, I just think the spice was really top-notch, and I enjoyed the story and I enjoyed both of the characters, which sometimes is a little bit hard to find in romance because some of them be making choices. This was a good book though. The next book I want to talk about is more of an honorable mention rather than a like amazing book. And I feel like I need to mention it because of how many of the series that I read. And it's the Ice Planet Barbarians series. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Those are not great books, but they're not awful books. There are some things about them that I would definitely change and improve, but overall I feel like having access to such a huge series with many different relationship dynamics in there is just a really good thing to have on Kindle Unlimited. If you don't know what Ice Planet Barbarians is about, it's about a bunch of women, human women, who have been kidnapped by aliens. The ship crash lands on this icy planet. They call it the Ice Planet of Hoth, and there are many Star Wars references in that, which I very much enjoy now that I'm a Star Wars fan. I originally read this before I was a Star Wars fan, and now looking back on it, I'm like, if I would have loved that now. So I always think that that's really fun. Anyway, some blue aliens come out of nowhere and they're like, hey, ladies, because they have a very declining population and need to incline the population. I enjoyed the writing style. I did find the later series got very repetitive, and there was a lot about babies, and I don't love babies. I was there for the original smut bit, and then it was like, oh, there's just so many babies. Why? I know why, obviously, but I do think that's something I wanted to mention because Ice Planet Barbarians is kind of like a gateway drug to like alien romance for a lot of people, and given how many of the series that I read, I think it should be on this list. Okay, so my next recommendation is Killer Candy by Holly Bloom. This book is about an assassin who works as a stripper in a club. There's some like mafia dealings going on in this club. It is a why choose romance between three separate guys with very different personalities, and she has like past beef with one of them, as well as she is running away from the guy who trained her to be an assassin. So there's a lot of really interesting things going on. This is a trilogy, and the first book has a lot more stripper politics than I would have ever imagined it would, but when you get into like the second and the third books, it just gets really good. The spice is good. There were some really cute elements, and I just really love Candy as a main character. She's very badass and I like her a lot. The next book I want to recommend is actually a Kindle Vella series, and that is Hot Vampire Next Door by Nikki St. Crow. Now, as you might imagine, this is about a hot vampire who lives next door to the main character. It's set in a town where, like, witches, vampires, shifters, they all live in the same place, and humans sort of decide where they want to go and who they want to align themselves with when they become of age. And the main character is soon to follow in her sister's footsteps and pledge herself to one of the vampire families. But something doesn't quite work out, and she ends up very attractive to one of the heads of a rival vampire family who lives next door and can hear every single thing that happens in her apartment. Every single thing. It's very spicy. I like the story as a whole. I like the setting, and I think it's really interesting because as we get further through the Kindle Vella series, there are 4 out so far. There's a lot more happening than any of the characters are really aware of at the beginning of the series. It's really good. There's some mysteries to be uncovered, and it keeps leaving it on a cliffhanger every time, so I just have to keep going back, and I really enjoy Nikki St. Crow's writing. And the final book I want to recommend is Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. Now, if you want to know some more detailed thoughts on this, then go check out my little mini review I did for this one. I can't recommend this book enough. It's about 2 serial killers that fall in love. It's like gross in the same way that the romance is good. I just really enjoyed it. I feel like you have to be in like a particular mood and enjoy like bloody crime things as well as romance to enjoy this book. But I really enjoyed both of the characters, and I can't recommend this one enough. You should definitely pick it up. The second one is coming out soon. So there we have it. Those are some Kindle Unlimited books that I've loved and wanted to recommend. I know this list was just very spice heavy, but apparently that's what I use Kindle Unlimited for. It just suits the format. But I am curious, if you made it to this part in the video, what Kindle Unlimited books are you picking up? Is there like a specific genre that you go to, or do you just pick like anything? Because I'm always on the lookout for more stuff. And if you like this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!